Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wrong show. I'm just kidding with you guys. Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing out there? I'm just poking fun at Mr. JH586, my brother Jamie. I just wanted to play a little geeky game, but yeah, that's all I'm doing. Just horsing around. So what's everybody doing out here in the side chat? I see G23's out here dropping links. I call him the link man. Who's he dropping links for here? Let's see here. See, he has put in one for Andy79Z28. Oh, let's see. Somebody's popped in. Hello. Hey, Mac. What's going on, brother?
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Oh, much better. Much better.
Oh, I'm glad, man. I was worried about you and your wife. Oh, wrong one. There we go. I was worried about you and your wife there for a little bit.
Yeah, we were down for 4 weeks.
Yeah, if you get the bug, I hear it's bad.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty. It was about 9 days I had symptoms for, but getting over it, the fatigue and the tiredness took me 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It was a bitch.
So, were you guys inoculated?
No, I wouldn't. I don't want the vaccine.
You don't want the antivirus, but now you got the antibodies in your bloodstream, anyways.
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully next time if I do pick it up again, it's not going to be as bad.
Yeah. So what are you working on there?
I picked up a load of Lake City brass, which was all 223 loaded from the guy, and they're all blemished. And he'd already turned them into 300 blackout.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not quite. I don't know if you can see that one, not too bad. They're not quite formed right. They're not in the Ellie Wilson. Let's have a look.
They just sticking up a little bit?
Yeah.
Well, have you tried it in the chamber?
No, I'm just resizing them. I'm going through them now and resizing them back to. I've got a 300 blackout die here. I sizing them back, and then they're perfect now. They're sitting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
See, they're sitting just below the top line and just above the bottom line. I've adjusted it so they're absolutely perfect. So I'm just going through and doing that, and then I'll load them up. But some of them are quite nasty. See how they're blemished?
Oh yeah.
See the blemish on them?
Let me blow you up to make it easy for everybody else.
See how they're all blemished? So most of them are all blemished, but they've never been fired. They were all brand new military brass. They're all still crimped. Lake City brass. But he bought, I think, like 50,000 or 100,000 rounds of loaded ammo, which was all blemished. So he pulled them all, got rid of all the powder, and then he resized them back to, because they were crimped really hard on the top as well, because they were machine gun, ready for using the machine gun.
Yeah.
So all he did was he sized them back to 300 blackout. So I bought like 2,000 pieces off him. I think it only cost me like $60.
Oh.
For like 2,000 pieces. So I'm just going through, just sizing them, and then I'll load them up then and running through my 300 blackouts.
Yeah, that sounds like a good deal for that kind of money.
Because $30 for 1,000.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You can't touch it for that right now.
No. So, and they're primed, so I don't even have to use my primers on them. So
see that's where you make out on that loaded ammunition, is you get it primed. Even when the military people that buy it, the contractors that buy it, break it down, you can still get the primed brass, and it's not considered a explosive hazmat.
Yep.
So you don't have to pay a fee on it if it's in a primer, if it's in a case.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, how they could send something in a plastic container that's okay to ship through the mail, but they charge you this ridiculous fee because it's an explosive. And then though, if it's in a case, they don't charge it because they consider that not an explosive anymore. I don't understand that. I don't really know how that works.
It's so weird. Just trying to read some of the comments if there's any questions coming up.
Yeah, I'm trying to see too. Milsurp Duos here. Hey, brother. I think Broke Loader was here too. Michael Herknack. Trying to get everybody. AR couldn't make it tonight because he's going to do something tomorrow, so he has to get up early, and he couldn't come. He said he'd never get to sleep. If he comes on here, he's like, oh yeah, I saw Broke Loader G23, Andy 79 Z28. Did I see GGW somewhere in here? Yeah, there you are. GGW reloading. Tactical FUD. And we're just hanging out, and everybody seems to be. I see a couple of people. Well, now what is that? It's my blood sugar taking a dive. Let me make sure it's still going up. It was low from before. Yeah, it's still going up. So I'm good. So you've been doing that. So you got a couple thousand rounds of that to do. And then what are you talking about putting in them? What are you thinking?
They're going to be all subsonic. So it's going to be a 200, 210, 220 grain bullet. I like using, what did I use last? Is it Lil Gun?
Yeah, little gun works good. So a 1680 little gun, all that stuff. H110.
I tend to keep the H110 for my Magnum loads.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just probably Lil Gun. I think I've used 4227 IMR 4227 as well. I think.
Yeah.
I think I've used that as well. And I just load them up all subsonic, and then if I load them up with 155 grain, or one, I bought some 150 grain, so I'll load some normal ones up, and I'll probably load that. I'll have to have a look. I can't remember what I loaded the last load up with. Yeah, when I think 110 H110 when I load them up normal power, I think, not subsonic. I think I use H110 on them.
Oh yeah. I think the 1680 works really good for subsonic stuff. Now are you using cast bullets, or are you for your subs?
Haven't. I've made a bunch of cast bullets up, and I've got them ready, but I haven't slugged the barrels yet, so I don't know what size to size them to.
Okay.
So I've got them made up. I've got them powder coated, and I just need to size them once I slug the 2 barrels I've got, and then I can size them then, and I'll try the cast bullets I made.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. And if you're cheap, yeah, that's what I was going for. If you're paying $30 per thousand for brass that has primers in it, that oh my gosh, you realize that those are military primers, and you paid $30 for the brass with the primers. You can't even touch the primers for that, let alone the brass.
I know, I had to jump on it. I should have bought more, but 2,000 rounds would be enough for me for now.
Yeah.
He'll have them in again.
Yeah. And when he does, you let me know so I can PayPal you.
Yeah, I'll let you know next time he has the next batch.
Yeah.
And, I'll buy a bunch of them and send them out if I could, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Michael's asking about my 419 press. I'm still waiting on the inline fabrication mount. I ordered it last Tuesday because I've been down sick. I didn't order it for a while. So as soon as I get the mount in, I'll do an unboxing video from inline, and then I'll do a setup video with the press as well. So that's all to come. Now I'm feeling better.
Yeah. Yeah, that press mount is pretty nice. That he's doing over at inline. Those things are pretty nice for the quick change plates.
Yeah, I've ordered it as a quick change plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sold one of my 650s because obviously with the way things are going, I don't need 3 650s. So I sold a 650, and I'm mounting it at the end of my bench where the 650 was sitting. So I got, I think when I sold the 650, I just sold it set up for 223, but with no dies, only the powder funnel die, and I got $1,100 for it.
Wow, that's a good deal.
Yeah, so that's almost paid for my new press.
Listen, everybody's hitting. Can you get any more, MacMan? Can you get any more at that?
I'll find out. What I'll do is I'll try and get hold of him this week because I haven't spoken to him probably in 2 or 3 months, because he's a guy that's all he does is he buys brass and he just sells it out, and he sorts it and sells it. So I'll hook him up this week and I'll see if he's got anything there, and if he has, next time we go on, I'll let everybody know. And if I need to buy a big bunch of it and send it out, I can do that.
G23, brother, what you have to do to find primers is if you don't want to pay a fortune for them, you need to look on the websites Powder Valley, Midway, Brownells. They occasionally will get them in. It's just kind of sporadic. They'll get in a batch, they'll put them up, and by the time, if you click the alerts, you never get them in time. What I do is every single day, I'll go on to one of those search engines that look for primers, and I'll search for CCI, small rifle or small pistol, or large rifle, large pistol, and put it in, and that searches all of those websites and comes up with the information. Those are good. And then also, if there's a few channels that cover where they're getting stuff and when they come out, but the best way to do it is just kind of watch yourself and kind of pay attention, and you will find them. You'll come across them. They're going to be a little higher than normal, but when you get them, just order yourself whatever they'll let you order, because most of the places are giving you like a minimum, and just get what you can.
Yes, Mike, the 419 has gone up $75. Yeah, it used to be $1,200, now it's $1,275. It's a cracking press, though. I can't wait to start using it.
Yeah. I was looking at one for a while, and I was trying to decide whether I wanted to spend money on that or I wanted to spend money on a Dylan, and then some other things came up personally, and now I got to start saving money for something else that I didn't really plan on. So, it looks like 67 Rebel SST is here as well. Lead Bullet Junkie again. Let's see. Dale's here.
Yeah, I'm saving up at the moment because my next thing I want to buy one of those. I'm not sure who makes it. It's that auto trickler, that V4 that they got, that real nice scales. Have you seen that one? It's all enclosed and they put the auto trickler on top.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be my next purchase.
The super fancy. It's like super fancy.
It is, but it's very, very consistent and very accurate. Yeah, because I'm like I said, because I load that. I got the 338 Lapore, a 300 Win Mag, a 308, and a 7mm mag that I'm doing all precision rounds for. So I think it's going to be worth it for me to buy one of those and that would be the finishing touch, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the money and you don't want to, have the bother with, cheaper scales, by all means, I tell people buy what you can afford, and there are some like caveats to it, to where you can get away with certain things on certain things. But if you want to buy super nice stuff, I'm a capitalist. I'm like, hey man, buy it and enjoy it.
I've also seen that. Have you seen that really expensive priming tool? It's like $600. The one you can adjust the depth of the primer.
Yes.
I don't know. I can see. I've been watching. What's the guy's name? He does a lot of competition shooting.
Oh, and he's. I know you. The John guy.
One. John, yeah.
Yeah.
So he swears by it, but I know he does a lot of PSR or PRS shooting.
Yeah. So, here's my belief on primers. If you want to spend $600 on one of those primer tools, I say go for it. I mean, they're super nice. They really are. They're super nice, and they do the job very well. However, I've always thought that a primer pocket that has been uniformed, where all the high spots have been taken down in, brand new brass that you do it to. And I'm talking even doing Lapua brass like that. Take uniform that primer pocket, and then seat that primer until it bottoms out into the pocket, and you use the amount of force that you want to use to seat it. So in other words, you'll be pushing on it, maybe 10 foot-pounds, and then you'll feel it slide. And then when it stops sliding, that's when you stop going. And what you're doing is you're putting the anvil that comes out from underneath the actual primer cup, and you're pressing that anvil into a uniformed rounds circumference, so that it equally preloads the anvil under the pocket, and that'll give you equal ignition and spark when it spits the spark through the flash hole. So if you want to, like, if you're putting every one to the bottom of the pocket, I would think that would be what you wanted to do. I mean, yeah, you can adjust that down to, like, I want to say a 1/10 of a thousandth, if I remember correctly. But the thing is, if you're all the way against the bottom of the pocket, you're against the bottom of the pocket.
Yeah, you can't go any further.
Yeah, and if you're not against the bottom of the pocket, you need to be, because then what you're going to cause is what they call a light strike. The firing pin will hit the primer, and instead of detonating it, it'll shove it the rest of the way down against the bottom. and it'll look like a light strike on a primer itself. It'll just be a little nick in the primer, and you'll recock the rifle and that primer will go off just like butter the next time, and it's just because that primer wasn't seated all the way to the bottom, or if you have a functioning rifle that's firing correctly.
Yeah, I always uniform, and then when I fire them, I always go through and I clean them and uniform and after every firing to the same depth. So because I could see that guy. Have you seen him? He started weighing primers and everything and putting them into batches. That guy is really, really on it.
That's kind of crazy myself. But I mean, if you want to go that far, I guess
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, I guess you could, but I mean, you might drive yourself lunatic until you go nuts. I mean, to the point where your wife comes in and finds you with just like primers all over in piles and stuff and little notes, little posty sticks all over the place. And you're just like, no, and you're doing this. No, in front of your face. And you're just like,
Yeah.
And they're like, I think a gear sprung. I think I heard a somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know how much difference putting a primer into a batch to AM is going to cost too much. I think, Mike just said it's F-Class John, the guy's name is.
Oh, yeah.
So I know he's on to it, but it's just, I don't know. I'd like to be able to get hold of one of those primers just to have a play with it to see if it makes any difference. I'd love to know if it makes any difference.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I've never had my hands on one. I did buy a priming setup that was like supposed to be a pretty nice one for like $150, and it wasn't RCBS or anything like that. I can't remember the name of it, but I don't need to even bring it up because when I got it, it was made in China, and there were like metal shavings all inside it. And when I tried to use it, it wouldn't work. So yeah. And then getting a refund was like really a pain in the butt. So God bless Amazon for and I can't believe Amazon even sold this item, but they did cover it for me.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But yeah, that's when I came across the one you're talking about, and I seen a lot of different guys using it, but I was like $600. I'm like, man, that's a lot for a primer.
I think that RCBS bench primer is fine. That's the one I use at the moment. I think you're not going to get much better for what we needed. I think you need much better than that.
No, I don't. I think you're fine with that. I think if you're using a hand primer and you're comfortable with it and you're consistent with the way you squeeze the primers in, I think you're fine with that too. As long as whatever you're using, you're comfortable with it and it's giving you the results that you are looking to get, there's nothing problem with what you're using. I know guys that prime on their little Lee presses and don't have any problems with it and been doing it for years. Oh geez, listen to that cat. Kit Kat. My cat she's meowing so loud, and she's got two different types of meows. It's so hilarious. She's got this one where she makes this meow, and it's just like this long meow, and at first it was disturbing. I was like, what the hell's wrong with my cat? And I ran in there and she's got her little tuna fishes. Me and Nicole, we have bought her these tuna fishes that are filled with catnip and little things so that she can scratch it and stuff. Yeah. And we got like 4 or 5 of them laying around here, so she like attacks them and then she meows at them and stuff, and that was one of her attacking meows. So she's fishing right now, I guess. So yeah, this week I'm gonna fire up the annealies and anneal some 308, and then I'm going to check the overall length and trim it if I have to. That's another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy the Ellie Wilson trimmer that you have.
Yeah, that's nice.
You and AR have that one, and I'm gonna get it because the only brass that I really need to trim that I worry anything about is rifle brass, and that'd be the only thing that I'm trimming with that.
I was watching, talking about trimming again. The guy had this trimmer, and it mounts to the bench, and I can't remember where I saw, but it's got like 2 rods coming out, and once you set it all up, you just push it in, it trims, pull it out, and the brass just drops out. Again, it's another quite an expensive item, but I like the way it works, and it looks like you could do pistol brass quite easy on it as well. I think it's a red machine. And
red machine.
And it's got a shell holder that just grips the brass as it goes in, trims it to size, and it's got like a stop bolt. You can adjust different bolts for different. You put different bolts in for different lengths, and it just pushes in and stops. And then you can just, once you've got them set up with the lock nut on them, they're set up. I just can't think what the machine is called. And I've been looking at that one as well, but again, it's quite expensive. But that looks a nice machine for trimming.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think. A red machine. Has anybody seen this machine? Is it aluminum?
It lies flat. It actually holds the brass. It just pushes the brass in at like this angle. It mounts on and it mounts on. I've been watching a couple of videos and I just can't think what it. That F-class John uses one.
And I'm not sure what trimmer he uses. I don't watch his channel because I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything. But let's see. What is he saying? Walter Bunning channel. Oh, okay. G's putting up links for everybody's channel. Appreciate it, G.
I can see
Gunpowder Beauty's here
got
too.
One of those. Michael's got one of those RBS bench primers as well. It's nice because once it's set up, you can just push it to the stop, and it actually it's a positive stop, and you can feel that primer setting all the way down in it. So it's pretty good. I quite like that.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious because I've kind of kept an eye on all the different trimmers that I've seen, trying to find one that I can use. I'm using right now, and I hate to even say it, but I'm using the Lee dies, the quick trim dies, and they work pretty good. I mean, you can get 1,000th within 1,000th, and it's pretty repeatable. I just want to get something that's just a little bit nicer, that clean cuts the brass at a little bit squarer angle, so that when I start doing Lapua brass and stuff like that, I'm not worried about it.
Yes, I have, Mike. I spend too much money on my reloading stuff. He says I got expensive tastes. Yeah, I spend way too much on my stuff, but you can't take it with you. You may as well enjoy it while you're still walking this earth.
Yeah, I saw something very funny the other day, guys. We were driving to my uncle's funeral, and I saw a Wells Fargo money truck, one of the armored trucks. And I know that they did this probably on purpose, following a hearse. It was because probably the guys in the Wells Fargo truck were probably like, oh, look, there's a hearse, and the guy driving was probably like, you know what I'm gonna do? You know how they always, the joke is you never see a money truck following a hearse. He probably was like, and he got in behind it. It was so funny because I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh. lead trimmers on what is he saying? Lead trimmers on the
Let me see if I can find this other one on my computer.
Center. So easy. Yeah, but you're using the original lead trimmers, Uncle Jim, the ones with the rod that keeps them the right length. That's a lot easier. That's dumb proof. The ones that I've got, you got to remember which way to click the little thing, and I don't know. I hate messing with trimming brass. That's like the worst. In my opinion, that's got to be the worst part of reloading is trimming brass. I would rather sit and polish brass all day long with stainless steel pins than mess with trimming it. And part of that decision, and the reason why, is because when I first started reloading, I stepped on a piece of trimmed brass and stuck that in my foot. Oh my gosh, dude. Let me tell you, I had to almost con my wife because she didn't want to try to dig it out, but it was like starting to hurt really bad. So she finally dug it out. And when she did, like blood came out behind it, like water and stuff. It was nasty. I was like, ooh. She was like, that's so gross. I'm like, I'm like, that's a good thing you got that. Oh, Tread's here. What's up, Tread? Lyman trimmer is nice for small batches. Okay. What world's finest trimmer too? Yeah, that's what I've got a couple of those actually. But the problem with the world's finest trimmer, that's great, like you're saying, for batch stuff. But like if I'm doing 223 and I've already ran it through and sized it, as long as you set your shoulder bump right and you get each piece of brass the same amount of force on the press, you're going to get within a thousandth on the world's finest trimmer too. The problem I've had is when you get that goofy piece of brass that keeps coming back, and it always happens with your range brass 223 because it's been laying out where everybody walks, and it's like nasty brass. Like some of it you can't even use, but like most of it you can. But it's sometimes you pick it up and it'll be green, kind of color, and everybody's going to be like, where do you get your brass? I'm like, from under the Lincoln Tunnel. No. Yeah. So I've found that basically the world's finest trimmer and trimmer 2, the difference is the world's finest trimmer, it has you buy a 223 trimmer and that's all it'll do. The world's finest trimmer 2 has exchangeable little neck collars. And if I remember correct, I could probably grab one and show you guys.
I can see. Hi, Warsaw. Warsaw Patriot has just jumped on.
Oh, hey, Warsaw.
Uncle Jim's there. G23. Tread. Is it Tread or Thread? How Tread?
Yeah, Tread.
Tread, I can see him. Walter Bunnins just jumped on. Hey, Walter.
Awesome, Walter. What I ended up doing with these world finest trimmers is I just bought 2 of them because I didn't want to have to set them up independently, for each caliber. So what I did was I bought 2 of them, and I can set one up for 223 and one up for 308 if I've got just like range brass 308 and it's not purchased. And the way they work, this is it. Let me see. I'll blow me up here real quick. This is the trimmer. That's the head of it. Let me see here. All right, hold on. And you see how it's got an end mill bit in there. And it's a 1/2 inch end mill bit. The original trimmer, I think, was 3/8, but this one's 1/2 inch. And I'm trying to get it so you guys can see in there. And then what it does is you order the little neck bushing, and this way you could use it with different caliber different calibers. So you could set it up for 308, then you could set it up for 223, or 7mm or whatever you were shooting. But basically, it's just a little bushing that comes, and then it just slides right down inside the. Got to get it straight. Of course, it doesn't.
Idaho Rogers has just jumped on. Pamela Earp. Is it Pamela Earp? NY Outcast.
Oh, New York Outcast.
He's jumped
Robus. Huh. Boy, that didn't go all the way in the way it's supposed to. It feels like it's got a burr in it or something. Feel this. I guess. That is it. This one's a little different than the other one I use. This one's got a dead stop on it. It's further out. But yeah, it's just got a little stair step in it, and it goes off. The other one I have does not sit that high off of the thing. I'm not sure what this one is. This one looks like it's 308. That's probably why. The cartridge casing's longer. The one for 223 Remington is a little shorter.
Yeah, Walter says get a bigger hammer. It'll go in there.
It'll go in. The hammer man. Now what did I do with that? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so what else is going on in the crowd? Anybody else doing anything tonight? I mean, any reloading, anything? Let's see, New York Strip was a sale today for Valentine's Day. Little Valentine's Day New York Strip. If I was a real man, I would have damn bought some food and cooked, but I'm all by myself tonight. I got a missing in action better half.
Michael Hurtneck found that trimmer. It's called a Henderson trimmer.
Henderson.
It's worth a look. It looks like a hell of a trimmer.
Really?
Watch a video on it. It looks pretty neat.
Okay, so all right, Michael, what was the price for this thing? I'm dying to hear what this is gonna be.
Oh, for that trimmer?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find something on there.
It's shorter.
Quick look, see if I can find a price. Walter deprimed 500 range, 38 cases, 500 380 cases, tumbling tomorrow. Did a shootout vid today. Shout out vid. I think Walter did a vid for Chico. Is it Chico?
Oh, awesome. Chico's awesome.
He did a shout out on his channel today.
Oh, that's really good, Walter. Thank you very much for doing that, sir. Every little bit everybody does for each other helps. And Chico is a nice gentleman and couldn't have done it for a nicer fella. Chico always helps everybody else out too, to find good deals on stuff.
Yeah, that Henderson trimmer, Mike just said it's $600. I think you can buy it two ways. You can buy it with a motor on the back, and it's $779. And then I think you can buy it on its own, where you put your own drill on the back. So you can buy two options.
That sounds pretty expensive. It better do some unbelievably good cutting for that kind of money.
It's actually got, when I was watching it, I was quite impressed. It's got two cutting blades on it. So once you've cut, you don't have to chamfer or deburr. It actually puts the angle on the outside and cleans all the cut up. And it also puts the angle on the inside as well. So you can just slide your bullet in. It's pretty good how it, you should watch the video. It's pretty good how it works.
Huh. Yeah, there's what's the name of it again?
Henderson. Yeah.
Because I remember maybe I'm just not. I remember a couple of really ridiculously priced ones. One fit on a drill, and one came like an entire unit.
Yeah, that's probably it.
And it did both the chamfering and deburring as well as the trimming.
That's it. That must be the one.
Yeah.
I was watching a few videos on it, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, those are supposed to be super fancy dancy. So those, I bet you, are some nice piece of equipment, some nice kit.
Yeah, it looks well made. It's got a plastic guard on it as well, so it keeps all the brass shavings in one place. It doesn't fly all over the place. It just keeps it all down.
Oh yeah, that sounds neat. I guess Mac's gonna know whether or not a tool is built right or not. He's handled a couple of them. Yeah, I certainly try. He wouldn't be in business this long if he sold junk.
It's going to be 20 years this year.
20 years. God bless you, brother. Let me stop scaring people here. Yeah, my uncle's shop, it was open for 30 plus years. And we set up the first one right down the street and put the lift in and everything. And then the second one, we put eight lifts in, 6 or 8. I can't remember now. If there's 3 bays out there, there's 3, I think, but there might be 4. So it's either 6 or 8 lifts, the rotary lifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put those in, and then put an inspection lift in, so you could just lift it right in the midsection and get the front and rear tires off the ground. Let's see who's out here. Eagle Eye Shooting. What's going on, buddy? All this reloading.
Mike's found that Mike said there's another trimmer out there. I don't know how you pronounce this. Girad. Girad trimmer. They think that's the one you're thinking of.
Oh yeah, the Girard. Yes, Girard. That is the one I was thinking of. Yes.
So that's another one as well. But you would try and have a look at the Henderson one when you have a chance, just to see what you think.
Yeah, I will definitely have to take a look at the Henderson as well. There's the Eagle Eye is like all this reloading and never any results downrange. Well, that's because some of us aren't as luxurious as in you and having the highest technology and the lovely Eagle cams, even though I have one. And I have not figured out how to get that to program in, or the editing software. It's basically this, Eagle. Kenny, I'm technologically a little retarded, so so you gotta give me a little bit of a break. Hippus here. Hey brother, what's going on?
Yeah, you're right, Mike. He's got both because he does a video on comparison on the two of them, doesn't he? And that Girard one seems to be very loud. That's what he was saying. It's a loud machine compared to the other one. Is a lot quieter.
What? I'm like, loud doesn't matter. I'm like, what?
It is pretty loud. When you see it on the video, when he compares the two of them and he switches them both on, the Girard one, if I remember, is very loud. The motor is very loud in it.
It's all that brake horsepower it's got under the hood. You turn on the case trimmer and it's got so much horsepower, your lights in your bedroom dim. You're like, what is going on? And I'm like, I had to turn on the trimmer, honey. Hold on. She's powering up. The whole block. It's like browning out the whole block. Yeah, that is true. Walter put in, some ranges do not let us use camera equipment, and I have had that told to me at one range here locally. So that is, out of the 3 that are close to me within an hour, 1 does not want cameras in there, or they even gave me stuff over a tripod, and I'm like, hey man, I'm putting my spotting scope up on it. I need a tripod. And they were like, oh, okay, spotting scope's all right. And I was like, what's the difference? I don't know what the deal is. I guess probably they don't want camera equipment in there because they're worried about somebody videotaping or something.
Thing is, with phones these days, they probably don't even know when someone's filming in there anyway.
Exactly. It's just people are. I mean, it's a shooting range too. It's not like it's a women's dressing room. I'm like, dude, what's the problem here? Everybody's got eye protection on. Now, if somebody was taking their eye protection off or something to work a camera, I could see that if you were in the firing line. But if you were back behind and you had a camera in front of your face, I don't see how that could be any different than having eye protection on. Oh, yes, we know you're busting balls, Eagle. I know you are. We're just messing with you. He's like, I'm not busting balls. I know, man. I know. We all want to have a desert in our backyard, too.
That would be so cool to be able to shoot from the patio or something, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be amazing to be able to just go out back and shoot. I mean, we could do it. We could fire up some rounds right now, guys. If you guys want, it's dark outside. I could probably get away with a half a mag before the police show up. And that was a joke. Hey, did anybody ever see those little miniature guns they were making? And they were making actual ammunition for it too. These guns were like, I mean, they were small. They were tiny guns. Now they're not like as small as the they might be as small as the goat guns. Larry Vickers. I want to say for some reason I want to say they were building these in Russia. And these little miniature 1911s, he actually test fired one. It was pretty neat, dude. And I thought it was bad. It shoots almost like 600 feet per second, you know, like a BB gun would. But it's pretty neat, dude. They had 1911s. They had a couple of AR-15s and some other stuff too. But Larry Vickers had it on his show a while back. I don't know if anybody else happened to see it. Pamela Earp's here. Hey, Pamela, what's going on?
Yes, Mike, I've got to go about a 30-minute drive to get out to the desert around me to be able to shoot, and about a 45-minute drive, and I can shoot out to 3,000 yards on one of my places I go. So about 45 minutes I can get to a nice spot to do 3,000 yards.
Wow, that's a long ways.
It is a long way. You need a good spotting scope to see if you're hitting the steel. I've gone out to 1622 so far, so I'm just under the mile at the moment. Next time we go out, we'll probably push it a bit further.
What were you doing at a mile? What were you shooting at?
I had a metal target, 24-inch square metal target. But I had 10 shots at maybe 10 inches or just under 10 inches as a group. 10 shots.
Oh, so you're shooting sub MOA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's with my 300 Win Mag. I haven't taken my 338 Lepore out there yet. That's going to be, I'm still running the barrel a bit. So maybe by the middle of the summer, I'll get out there with the 338 and see how good that is at a mile. But it's the same gunsmith built the 4 guns for me. So, 3 of the guns for me. So they're all pretty good shooters. Or very good shooters, then I should say.
Only when getting gas. G23. What did G23 say?
Lead Bullet Junkie says, Kenny, can you get sub MOA with a lubed cast bullet at 1,000 yards? I bet you'd be one of the first to do it if you can.
A lubed cast bullet. Yeah.
Hey, that's MOA at 1,000 yards.
Hey, that's okay. I had a guy. Listen to this. I actually saw the videotape of this guy shooting a cold bore 22 long rifle shot at over 700 yards and making a hit on a 10-inch plate.
That's pretty neat.
That's pretty neat. And it was no like competition rifle. It was just like a bolt action Marlin with a 20-inch barrel or something like that on it.
Dale Polk, is it? My longest shot is 1,200 yards. Just said.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at about 12 yards. Anywhere that anywhere where I can push the rifle barrel almost to touch the paper, that would be that pretty much that's you're dead nuts all the time right there at 12 yards.
And Michael's good out to 300 yards, he's saying.
Yeah, I don't try to push it past 300-400 yards. I'm just shooting a 308. I know some people can shoot that at a 308 at a mile. I know guys in the chat right here. Eagle Eye Shooting has made hits at a mile with a 308 repetitively.
Yeah, he just figured, Eagle Eye Shooting figured, since I built over 440 rifles, each shot sub quarter, I can share what I found to be consistent in reloading. I can share what I found to be consistent in reloading.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
It's great when you can go out shooting long distance and hit targets. It's such a buzz.
Even if you don't actually make it quite as far as you want to go, it's always fun trying the next time you go out to go a little further than you did before, and keep improving upon your shooting skills, your basic fundamentals.
I got one of those CMMG Banshees in 10mm, and that thing is hitting a 10-inch plate at 300 yards. That Banshee and that 10mm. And what I was surprised about is I set it up at 50 yards on a red dot, and I shot, and then I took it out to 100 yards, and I was still hitting the bullseye. So when they got metal targets at my local range, which are at 300 yards. So I thought, if I'm going to shoot at 300 yards, I'm probably going to shoot about a foot, maybe 2 foot high.
Mm-hmm. And
I kept missing the target. And in the end, I brought my red dot down onto the target and hit it. So that thing is shooting, that 10mm round is shooting so flat that you can set it up at 100 yards and it's hitting the target, hitting a 10-inch plate at 300 yards.
With no changes, just shooting right for the steel again.
Yep, just with the red dot. Don't know where I'm hitting the steel, whether it's a high or low, but I can zero mine to a ½ inch at 100 yards or an inch at 100 yards, and then just put it in the middle of the target at 300 and it's still hitting it. That thing is I'm really impressed with that 10mm round.
That is pretty impressive for a handgun round. Now, how long is the barrel?
It's a pistol AR. I think it's about a 10 or a 12-inch barrel on it. But it's that they call it the Banshee. They just brought one out in 300 blackout as well.
Yeah, in CMMG does it.
Yeah, they make it in. I think they make it in 10mm, 45. They just brought out this 300 blackout one. So there's a couple of different calibers in it, but it's such a nice little rifle pistol.
Is that the one that uses Glock magazines as well? Or does it use a proprietary magazine?
I bought a couple of the magazines from CMMG. Maybe I'll check to see if it uses a Glock magazine. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, but it's a really nice gun to shoot. It's fun. It's a real fun gun to shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember hearing about the Banshee with the, but I remember hearing about. I want to say I didn't hear about 10mm. Well, isn't that the latest one they've released? The 10mm.
I've had mine probably just over a year, maybe year and a half. I've had mine. The latest one they've released is in 300 blackout.
Oh, okay, but that is a special system of the way it runs its the gas. It doesn't use does it use gas? I can't remember, because there was something about that system that it either used a gas or it was like a delayed blowback.
I think it's gas. I'll have to have a look. I'm sure I'm sure it just runs like a normal AR.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious about that. I'm wondering how they're venting that. Maybe they're just drilling one big hole there. Now, is the bolt very much similar to a regular conventional AR-15?
I will be totally honest with you. I haven't even taken it out. I've just taken it out and shot it. I've never stripped it down to have a look at it.
Now I probably got you curious.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a look now. I'm trying to get this out without getting it on the live stream.
A-Gun Websites, what's up, brother? Tread, let's see, Michael. G still out there.
Are we allowed to show bolt carriers on a live stream?
Yeah, you could show a bolt carrier, just not a gun.
So there's the...
Here, let me blow you up.
So that looks like it's just a normal AR bolt carrier.
Oh, yeah, that just looks like a normal part. That doesn't look like anything changed other than possibly the bolt head itself, the bolt face.
It's blanked out on the back. No, am I on screen now? See how it's blanked out on the back?
Oh, yeah.
And then
I wonder if they've got any kind of weighting system in that.
It's a heavy bolt.
It is?
Yeah, there's quite a bit of weight in it. I'm just having a look now. There's no... no, there's no gas tube on it. I'm not sure.
Okay, so it's some type of delayed blowback of some sort. I remember reading something about that system. That's why I was asking you and to look at it, because there was something special about that system that allowed them to run that like that. And I remember ever since my little minor strokes I have a hard time remembering. Basically, I did read something about that system, though, that Banshee system was very, very, well, it was proprietary, but it was, see if anybody in the chat's talking about it.
It's like a 8-inch barrel or a 7.5-inch barrel on it.
It's got an 8 or 7.5 or 8-inch barrel?
7.5 to 8-inch barrel on it, yeah.
Okay. He's on an Odyssey now. Oh, wow. An Odyssey. That I think the Honda Odyssey, Andy. Milser. See, I'm back.
Yeah, so it looks like it's like I think that's what you're talking about, like a Glock style magazine.
Yeah.
This one's made by SGM Tactical. SGM Tactical 10 mil. So that's the magazine. It's running.
It almost looks like it almost looks like a Glock mag. It may very well be. I couldn't imagine them not taking advantage of Glock. How many rounds does that hold?
This one is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24 rounds.
Yeah, and that's 10 millimeters. So that's the same one that they use for the 33 stick. Yeah. In 9 millimeter. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably a Glock.
It's probably a Glock mag. Yeah. That's cool. I like that. That's pretty neat. I like that. I would like to have one of those out where you could shoot the damn thing and show some footage of that.
Yeah, once I get back up and totally on my feet, I'll go out and I'll take some video footage of some of the rifles, and I'll make a video of that one as well.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. When the brass comes out of that, is it going like what like on a saying 12 o'clock is the muzzle? What is its ejection profile pattern?
It's coming sort of around about 4 or 5 o'clock maybe.
Okay.
It's coming just sort of. It's coming just over you, not quite over your shoulder, but that sort of direction.
Yeah,
It lands on. It lands behind you then.
Okay. That's pretty neat. That seems like whatever they've done, they figured it out, because they definitely I've heard a lot of good things about that Banshee system. CMMG actually hit the nail on the head. Now, if they would have released that rifle probably a little sooner or a little later, I guess would be probably right, because the 10 millimeter craze hit kinda when they came out with that, and then it was like a little bit later on it picked up more and more steam as more and more manufacturers started building guns that shoot 10 mil. It's like it picked up and it started going hard, but it's like people that gun there, I remembered it, I just didn't know it was ever in 10 millimeter, but that sounds like that's the plan to have right there.
Yeah, Tread says it's got a modified lock-in lug system.
Okay. I knew it had some type of specialized proprietary lock, the way it locked up. It was almost like a delayed cam action.
Yeah, next time I go out, maybe next weekend, I'll take it out and see if I can make a little video, and I'll put it up on my channel.
Yeah. MacMan goes Banshee.
Yeah, they shoot so nice. I'm thinking about getting it in that 300 blackout as well, because it's such a nice system and how it works. So I might.
Oh yeah.
Because I can see that Springfield had just brought out their new. Is it the Rowan 10 mil 1911?
Yes.
That looks nice too. That looks a nice pistol.
Come here, you little fat thing. Yes. You want to be on camera?
Michael says it's sold out at PSA now. What's PSA?
Palmetto State Armory.
All right.
What
so
are you guys?
Out there.
Oh, okay. They were selling it.
Yeah, it looks like you can't get it at the moment.
That might be a hot ticket item right now.
And then New York Outcast, 10 mil isn't cheap. I just glued one 9 mil behind another for an 18 mil.
That's funny. 10 mil is not cheap. Yeah, you definitely have to reload 10 millimeter if you want it.
It's cheap if you reload it, because it shoots the 40
it's
cal.
It's 40 cal.
Once you got your brass, it's the same price as loading up 40 cal, isn't it? Just a little bit more powder.
Gotcha. I gotcha. You see this cute cat? This is Kit Kat. She is the best thing in the world. Best thing ever happened to me. This right here. This little fatty catty. Here, you want to sit on my lap? Here you go, baby. Actually, the second best thing that's happened to me in my world. Yes, the second best thing, but just as important. Your big tail. Look at this big calico. Yes, you can sit there.
Well, I'm gonna have to jump off now.
I'm gonna. Yeah, it's been about an hour, brother. So I'm gonna shut it down. But I appreciate everybody in the side chat for coming in and checking it out. And please, everybody that's in the side chat, please pay attention to everyone that you're hanging out with in the side chat, and check their channels out. Go and check them out, because when I in this video, YouTube takes 20 hours or so before they let my live chat be part of my chat, be part of it again. So you have to wait like 24 hours to be able to see what the side chat was saying before they release it. So I don't know why they do that. I don't know if I have something set funny or if they're just like that with my stuff. Chances are I have something set awkward or goofy. But thank you very much, everybody, for coming out and hanging out with me on this lovely Valentine's Day. I hope everybody got a chance to get their loved one something special. And hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate it very much. Mac, is there anything you want to say, brother?
Yeah, just thanks for letting me jump on again. Like I said, I've been out for a few weeks with this COVID, so I was pretty sick for a while, but we're on the good side of it now, so I can start getting out and doing some stuff and making some more videos to put on my channel. So, and thanks for all the questions, guys. It's been great. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Always a pleasure, Mac, having you on. And ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you coming by. Pam, Tread, everyone, come back and see us G23. Thanks for throwing out all the links, brother. I always appreciate you. HIPAA, awesome, brother. Andy, awesome. Michael, brother. Kingpin, brother, thank you for coming by tonight. I appreciate it. G-Webs, Lead Bullet Junkie, New York Outcast. Hey, and if you guys are looking for a display piece for your pistol or your AR-15, check out New York Outcast channel. And he hand makes here in the United States out of wood, and you can get it. I believe he has black, and there's a kind of like a wood stock color, like gun stock color, and I believe those are the colors but he probably has some things that I'm missing out on. So check his channel out and check out his basically their wood display items that you can use to display your pistol or your AR-15 on the wall or on your desk. I always like to give everybody that's doing something a shout out, and we are capitalists here. We are not socialists, so we're going to support one another. If they're selling things, especially if they're handmade like that, come on. You want to get really somebody nice. Yeah.
I've seen the videos and they look really nice.
And Mac is doubling up on that. So there you go. Always a pleasure, New York. And everybody have a lovely evening, and I hope you enjoyed the time spent with us, and take care.